We wish you both a long and happy retirement in your new home at the seaside. This is a small presentation with the main one happening in the church hall after the meal. Firstly, Junior Church have something to put.
Happy retirement.
That they make for you with their little wishes.
And the ribbons
Oh, so you just wrote the message for the parents.
I won't read it all out now, but
No.
that's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Lots of hearts.
Yeah.
Yes, lots of
Aren't
fun.
they lovely? Well, there's lots of different pages to read, aren't
Yeah.
there?
Wonderful. Thank you. That's lovely.
It's been wonderful having you all in church because it sort of lifts my heart when I see the youngsters here every Sunday. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
lovely.
you to you too, Carolina.
Leslie, if you'd like to come up, please.
There is a card, but because not everyone has signed it, there's a few people here still outside. I'm taking it off the hall and we'll continue over there.
Oh, these are beautiful. Thank you.
Is this a bottle of communion?
I think this is one that we've not had in this church before.
Oh, thank you. Those are beautiful.
Lord be with you.
And also with you.
The Lord bless you and watch over you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord look kindly on you and give you peace. And the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be among you and remain with you always. Amen. Go in the peace of Christ.
Thanks be to God.
Mother Anne Marie would love to go. Well, delegates.
When
My
you got married, did you not go
We could do it. But yeah.
My last act of delegation will be my
Can I just say, Linda?
Stop waving the knife about.
Where is Linda? I think Linda made the cake.
I did tell them. Come on, Linda. You've been called.
You made this, didn't I?
No, I didn't make it.
You didn't?
No, I bought it at Costco.
You are
Only 10 minutes to read that.
Goodbye attention. Hello.
Hello, pension.
We couldn't work out on that word.
We couldn't work it out, could
We
we?
decided we were
And
going
it
to
Cost me £17.
It's beautiful. That's what we wanted to say. How beautiful it was. We are going to cut it Reluctantly, really. Come on, Derek. Wow.
I'm just worried what you're doing with the knife.
No, I'm just...
My thanks to everybody for coming. I know not everybody was here earlier, is still here, but it's great. It's lovely to have such a big family here at St John's celebrating together. So, although I've only been in a leader position, you may not realise this, but a short time at this church, I have the honour of leading this part of the proceedings. So, welcome. And I'm glad you could join us. Your family. When I was preparing this talk, I spent some time chatting with others who've been part of this church community for more years than I have, to share some of their memories of your time here at St John's. And there appeared to be a recurring theme. The words that came up most were...
When are they going?
Wine. Don't steal my punchlines, please. Wine, beer, Crete and cats. But we'll cover a bit of that in a minute. But there was a lot said about how really grateful many people are for the care and support you've given them. Particularly when they've faced grief or ill health, the time you've made to be alongside people at those difficult times, and to prioritise those who are housebound, offering support through prayer and home communion. This has been a common theme and really appreciated and seen as a blessing to many. Over the last 20 years, someone said, you've been instrumental in leading the annual pilgrimage to Walsingham. Margaret Dears, who can't be here today because she's got a better offer in Kenya, I think she's only missed one of those visits in the whole of that time. And when I've spoken to people, they've said that with you and Anne-Marie, this has become a very special experience for many. And though hopefully your legacy and enthusiasm for Walsingham will continue and hold fast, they will really miss you both. Another area people miss is the way you guide us through our worship. Your great voice, Jerry. We shall miss your singing, your thoughtful and insightful sermons, and your attention to detail, especially when you're having to train new church wardens around church ritual and liturgy. I'll also miss...
Still working on that.
I know. Just don't come back and see what I've done afterwards. I'll also miss your support of our youth ministry and encouragement and support for our... This is very personal, this bit. The bell ringers, and also particularly the Mothers' Union. I've aimed to highlight the importance of these connections to the new incumbent. So in the job description it says, basically, we have a very strong groups and you need to love them all. And don't bother to apply if you don't love the Mothers' Union. Many of us are also very grateful for your enthusiasm around IT and your skills. And particularly your confidence in the use of technology during the pandemic. That was really great to be able to have those services online so we could hold our community together. I think a number of people might have found that a bit daunting, really, to try and do all those recordings in your dining room, and then obviously later on in the church, so we're very appreciative of that. Also, our explicit drive to be an inclusive church is also one of your legacies, and through this you've helped us to think about what it means as we work, pray and worship, and also the importance to adapting our building to making sure that everyone feels welcome. And I hope people here do, and will pass that message on, that we are an inclusive church and all are welcome with us. I have a feeling though there's some elements of your role as vicar which probably are easier to relinquish than others. I don't know why, but possibly the PCC meetings. but maybe if we provided wine, it would be more attractive. I don't know. I also find it quite amusing that you were never very enthusiastic about discussing church finances. Considering you took banking from school, it is quite an interesting phenomena that you avoided, I think. And did you sit on the finance board of the diocese as well? Yeah. So you were obviously a glutton for punishment when it came to things like that. And over the last 23 years, you've engaged with a number of our affiliated organisations, the Friends of St John's, are great enthusiastic for their social events from the photographs that I've seen. As a director on the Caterham Valley Parish Hall Company, that's just to name but two, and your support has been much appreciated. I know you've also been a governor. I mean, you couldn't avoid it. You are the incumbent, so you have to be a governor at St John's Primary School. And you've seen through a number of different head teachers over 23 years. I think it must be about 5 I counted, I think. Rita Hale, the first one you had. And chairs of governors, of which I am one of the past. In fact, we worked together for a number of years when the school was facing some very tricky times in finding new leadership, and it's great to see that the school thrives now. And as a parish, we're looking forward to working hard with the school, strengthening the links that you put in place. Right, cats. I'm allergic to cats. It's always a daunting prospect going for a meeting in the vicarage, but fortunately the cats were quite remote from me, so that was fine. Sometimes I chose the right chair to sit in. But your love for these creatures will be an abiding memory for many. I believe you came with 6 cats, is that right? But now only leave with 3. Are they different 3 to the ones you came with, I believe? Yes. Many of these cats were waifs and strays or adopted you, is that right?
Thank you for reminding us that 6 of our cats have died.
Oh. Is it only 6?
No.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But you even adopt them from overseas, so you know you're a great service to the cat community. But I do hope that they will settle well in their new home, and I know that Leslie in particular will miss the antics of your feline family.
Yeah.
I think we've all been privileged to be part of your life here in Catechum, and as well as thanking you for your ministry, we would also like to thank Anne-Marie. Her support to many of us, her friendship and ministry, as well as her membership of the Mothers' Union, will be really missed. I'm sure Shoreham will gain from your visit. You'll stay there, and you'll have lots to offer you there. And we hope you'll be able to settle well and make new friends and find some good hostelries. I think you've spotted a few already, so that's good.
Factory, sure. We talked about that.
And although I'm sure you'll still be part of a local ministry, I hope that without a full-time parish commitment, you'll also find time to spend together. Pick up your hobbies and interests, whether it's reading, crafts or Napoleonic history. Visit those places you love more regularly, perhaps Crete, and spend time with your family, with Leela, Charmaine, Wayne and all your grandchildren. And thank you very much for joining us today. It's great to have you here. So on behalf of all your friends and colleagues here in Catechum, we'd like to offer you tokens of our appreciation for all you've done. We wish you well and hope that these gifts will bring you joy and occasionally remind you of us positively. So there are a number of gifts that people have brought. These ones have been wrapped by Leslie.
Amazing
The craft
paper.
pictures. And there's lots of cards, but this is one card that has been signed by members of the congregation. And this is a photograph album. Some people gave me pictures that I put into an album of memories that they have of the last 23 years of you here. So there are more in the recent history than there are in the past history, but hopefully it will give you some reflections. Anyway, can we just do a toast then to Father Jerry and Lord Anne-Marie? Retirement. Would you like to microphone?
I'm sorry.
Well, thank you for all your wonderful words. I'm very conscious, as a priest leaving a parish, that come tomorrow, people will forget about us and start saying to the church wardens, so when are we advertising in the post? Who's coming next day? And I was quite pleased that the church wardens have put up lots of posters around the place saying, patience. And I thought that was very pleasant. I've trained you well. I'm going to share with you a story because I think I've only ever shared this story with one person at St John's, a previous church warden, about how we ended up coming here. This is why it always pays to be nice to your clergy, because you never know who they might then pass on the news that there's a really good parish about. Many years ago, just before we came, I got a phone call one evening from Father John Ardley, who I know some members of the congregation still remember, who was curate here many years ago, and he said, I know just the post for you, said, I've just had a phone call from a member of the PCC to say their vicar is leaving. He told them tonight, and I thought you'd be really interested in the post.
I think you should phone the Archdeacon up in the morning. So, as it happens, I knew the Archdeacon. It was Martin Buckley. Some of you may remember him. But I phoned him up the next morning. This is the day after the vicar resigned here. And I said to him, I'd like to put my name down, as interested in St John's Catering. There was a very long pause on the end of the phone. And then he said, how on earth did you know about that? And I didn't tell him. I just said I had my connections. But I put my name down for the post, or to be interviewed for the post, I think about half an hour after he found out that the previous vicar had resigned. But that's how we ended up here, because the previous curate here had had such a great time here many years ago, that he thought this would be a great place. One of my achievements is I managed to close down a school. Because of course when I came it was 2 church schools. We only have 1 now. So one of my achievements is closing a school down. But we never thought we'd be here this long, because at the time we came the diocese was still in favour of 7-year contracts, despite the fact that they are illegal, which the church soon won't have. But we thought we'd be here for about 7 to 10 years and then be going on to another post. But we have so enjoyed our time here, and there is certainly, you've never been in, but I've been into the school many times. I so enjoy the work at the school and the work with everybody here in the parish. It's been great. I know Anne-Marie has very much appreciated her work with the Mothers' Union, when in so many parishes, and that's part of that's down to you, Susan. The work with the Mothers' Union, when in so many parishes Mothers' Unions have closed down. Things go from strength to strength here. But do bear in mind, like I said in my sermon, don't just think, oh, they're gone now. We just wait for the next person. I know, I just want to say this, Susan and Julie will need all your help over the next few months as you look towards the future. And I know you'll be very welcoming of my successor. It's very strange to be moving on. This is the first time in 40 years I've moved on from a parish and not known what's going to come next. Usually at this point in your ministry, you're already thinking about what are the needs of the next parish. We don't know where that will be yet. So kind of mixed feelings as we move on. In some ways, we're very sorry to be saying goodbye to you all. The nature of social media these days is, of course, that a lot of you already are friends on social media and will be keeping in touch that way. So we won't lose touch. But it's a strange feeling to be going after 23 years in one place. The previous longest in my ministry was 6 years. So this has been a very different feeling. And we'd just like to say thank you to you all for being part of this family here at St John's. And your love for us has been very important in our years here. And when it comes to tomorrow and people start saying, so when's the next person coming, then our thoughts and prayers will be with particularly you two, because I know church wardens have I don't want to put you off. Church wardens have a difficult time during interregnums, I know that. So our thoughts and prayers will be with you too, but with all of you as you look forward to a new stage in ministry, and we would ask for your prayers for us as we look forward to a big change and a new stage in our ministry. Thank you. Just say who's paying for the Uber to take us home.
We might find a nice person. You might find someone with a nice car. But what you didn't see was that these are wrapped, aren't they?
Yeah, they
But
are.
there's also something underneath here as well. So you might want to come and have a look at your
Oh my goodness.
Now they're not keen on gardening, but we're hopeful.
But these are
amazing. Wow.
We can go in your front garden.
Your
cat's unfolding off.
Come on.
That was so nice.